My name's Jade.
And I'm your host, Emma, and I forgot how we do our intro.
Yeah, let's try that again. I'm the one who messed it up. Okay. I'm your host, Jade.
And I'm your host, Emma.
And this is
Lashing Out and Nailing Life.
And we haven't filmed an episode in a hot bit. So
And we are lashing out and we are nailing life.
We've been busy and at it.
Oh my goodness. So Thanksgiving happened, holiday, we're
in it now.
First week of December. Yeah. Crazy. I'm not ready.
I've already been playing Tetris with clients texting me and being like, can I move? And I'm like, you can.
I actually have several.
Let me see who else needs to move.
Yeah, I have a gap this week and several gaps next week. And normally I try to fill those, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Actually just had a client text me and ask if I'm out of town next week because that's how booked I am. She can't.
It looks like you're like gone. Yeah.
She can't find a spot for next week. And I was like, I'm not out of town, but I'm busy.
Yep.
But that's just a great display of different schedules.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, because I have gaps next week, and it looks really like scary, but then up until Christmas, I'm busy. I always have 1 week each month where it's like people's schedules are weird, but it kind of works out because like the reason I have a gap Friday is because one of my clients had to move her appointment for something else, but she moved it to next week, so like that worked, and like it just it's all relative. But yeah, that brings us to our first point, which is
comparing.
Today's episode is about surviving the holiday hustle. We're planned. I already have a title for this episode. That's great. So, we just wanted to kind of talk about all of it. I mean, some people have slow schedules and some people have busy schedules, and both, funny enough, are normal. So
yeah, it just depends on the clients you serve and what's important to them at this time.
Yeah, and if people are traveling, if you have more clients who travel, if you have more clients who are staying in town, that can all affect schedules. So it's important, my first point, it's important to not compare your schedules to others because everyone kind of has a different normal for this time of year. And like I just mentioned, enjoy some of the time that you have because maybe you're packed and burning out in the summer, and you can take this time of year to chill and enjoy.
I also feel like the other thing in not comparing schedules is I know I've organized my holiday schedule really weird. If anybody looked at my scheduling system right now, they'd be like, oh, she's taking so many days off and then jam-packing these days. But that's just what works for me. Like, I think...
It depends on how you want to work, too.
December 21st and the following week, so the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, I'm trying my best, if possible, to only work 2 days both of those weeks because I'm a family girl and my brother's only in town for 2 weeks. Yeah.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to only work 2 days each of those weeks, so those days look very, very hectic. But that's just what's going to work better.
That's kind of how mine is, too. So I only took 3 official days off for Christmas, and I think half of the 23rd, maybe, too. But then leading into that, like, I'm working Wednesday to Tuesday. But again, that's, like, fine with me because I function okay that way. Yeah. But if during this season, especially if you have kids or anyone who you have to pay attention to during the during the holiday season, then don't feel pressured to work more because other people want you to.
My experience from, like, actually compacting my schedule this year is clients will fit into your schedule. They really will, especially this time of year because a lot of them have flexibility with work anyways, and like spouses having time off to watch kids too. I feel like it does all really just work out properly how it should.
Yeah.
And I mean, worst comes to worst, like I might work an extra day or two where I just come in for one client if I genuinely can't get them in. But it's still a much
and I try to be really, really strict with my, like, if I'm booked, I'm booked. Like, I'm not going to come in at 6 a.m. And I'm not gonna, especially if I'm like gonna be staying there until 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's a long day.
Like, if I'm booked, and that sucks for you. But I do try to balance because the few times that I've been like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna work 9 to 9 or 8 to 8 or whatever, or 8 to 9. then when the time comes to rest for the holidays, I'm exhausted that I don't want to like do anything.
And you risk the fact of you just getting sick from being so
Mm-hmm.
tired. Yeah, you have to be
And
intentional.
it's like, and then my family wants to do stuff and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm just going to stay here and veg out. Which if you want to do that anyways, but I love to, like, I'm a big family person too, so I love to like be able to go and do events with my family.
Yeah, we're both very intentional with our time with our family.
Yeah, especially now that like I've moved out and some news may be coming soon, but
yeah, to be discussed.
We're gonna have we decided that we were not gonna try and talk about any of our life things or anything, because not our next episode but the episode after, it'll be January, and
it's 1 year anniversary, guys.
I know. And we're gonna do a whole goals thing like we did this past year, so
yeah, that'll be your life update from us,
right? Yes, so we talked about not sacrificing our own holidays to fit in more clients.
We covered a lot of this in that one conversation.
So something else I wanted to touch on is how to handle the slow season. And that can be if your slow season is now or if your slow season is coming. So like I tend to slow down a little bit more in January and February.
That's most beauty business. Yeah.
And that's most people. Now some people will say like, I never slow down, I'm constantly booked, and like that's how I feel. Like January and February, now that I have clients and like my books are closed, it doesn't necessarily feel slow, but you'll notice like your income will probably be less, just because also January and February in my line of work, people are getting like less art.
Yeah.
And they are coming in less frequently because they have less parties and trips and things. So, definitely you need to prep financially. So something else that I do is I try to do all of my purchasing around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and get it out of the way. Mm-hmm. And then December, I can kind of hoard money.
Yeah.
And, not feel like I've spent anything. Now, that's a little bit of girl math because I definitely spent way too much money last month. Mm-hmm. However, it will also, like, when I did my books, it wasn't bad. And like then you'll have that little bit of saving. I
have to book a hotel room and I have to book a
flight. Yeah, because you're going somewhere in January.
Oh, I'm so scared. That's a lot of, I think I probably still have a good chunk of money to drop on that. But like I'm the same way. We were talking about this kind of before we started filming, but I try every year to intentionally order everything I need for a whole year during Black Friday week. Whether that's if I want to update furniture in my space, I'll do that over Black Friday week. Whether that's lash supplies, facial supplies, retail.
Because saving any money, I've learned like saving any money is better than nothing. Like if you were going to buy something anyways and it's $10 and it's going to be $1 off on Black Friday, that's one less dollar you had to spend. Yeah. So especially with business stuff, anything you can save, the better. So while November feels so far away and I had made several other purchases last year, I've definitely gotten to a point where I'm like, unless it's essential, I'm not buying it unless it's on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Because even if it's 20% off, if I was going to get it anyways, at least I'm saving a little money. Which I think is why, even though I bought so much stuff, it wasn't... What was my most expensive month this year? Maybe it was... I think May.
That's funny. That was my most expensive month. I traveled.
That's so funny. That's why. That's so funny. I think I worked a little bit more in May, so that offset it too. But I don't know why. I spent like double what I usually do in May. But maybe that was just because of like people come out with fun colors or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just before summer. So there's probably some launches in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look at it, but I just saw that it was my most expensive month. But I think the reason this wasn't my most expensive month, or this past month was my most expensive month, because it's December now, but was because of the sales. So like what felt like $2,000 wasn't actually $2,000.
I don't want to look at how much money I spent. It happened. It's gone. I won't be spending it for a little bit.
Yeah, I also use the slow season. So if you're experiencing your slow season now and you've already prepped for it, I also use it for content catch-up and education research / looking into like, or doing education. So like I'm actually looking into getting certified in a bunch of esthetician extra certifications that I didn't get while I was in school. Because then I'm hoping that if I start it now, by January and February, I can finish it out. And it shouldn't be too bad. And I'm also trying to catch it because sometimes people will sell their classes in a bundle and it's cheaper. And they also maybe go on sale this time of year too. Because they want their slow season to be busy. They're slowsin'.
They're slowsin'.
Yeah.
There's normally sales after the holidays and New Year sales, especially for courses. They like to do their New Year sale because it's like revamp your education for the new year.
And I think it's slow for salon. Like a lot of these places are beauty schools or salon owners, and it's their slow season too. So they want it to fill up with things that are making them income in a different way also.
My thing that I'm doing that I need to post, I'm doing a holiday sale. Hopefully by the time this episode is up, I've posted about it. We'll see. I'm trying to work on Canva and do it in all my spare time. I've been a busy bee. But I'm doing a holiday sale, which is more of me testing if these services are going to be popular. So I'm introducing mini facials, which will be 30-minute facials for $60 versus my hour-long facial for $100. So I'm going to do a mini microdermabrasion facial, a mini dermaplane facial, and a mini just glow facial essentially, which won't include an add-on, but which will include gua sha massage and ice globe massage.
Yeah. What's the difference between, what will be the difference between a mini facial and a regular facial?
So for the dermaplane and the microdermabrasion, I normally include 2 masks in a facial, but they will not have a mask. They won't have the first mask included. They'll just have the hydrating mask at the end. And then my client will have to choose whether they would prefer extractions or massage instead of getting both.
That's kind of nice though, because if somebody wants extractions more than they want a massage, then yeah, okay.
So my goal for those is for people who can't afford the full length, or for people that really the only time they have in their life to do something like that is on their lunch break. They're able to come in for a quick facial that's not gonna make them red for the rest of the day, and get that done on their only bit of free time.
Yeah.
And it's a quick, easy add-on to add to my lashes, if they want to stay for just an extra 30 minutes. But I'm gonna advertise it. If you book it, it'll be this price, January, February.
Yeah.
As I test it.
That is a good way to gauge kind of if people are going to like it. And then if not, then maybe you only offer it during the holiday season when people are busy and they're going to want something for after to relax.
Yeah. And then I'm also going to do a duo package, which will be 110, maybe 100 if I'm feeling generous, where you can get 2 of those facials at different times.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my advice from an esthetician standpoint on something I am looking at offering to kind of help my slow season balance out in January and February, because I do get slow in January and February, and I know that.
I really use this time I will make a ton of content, whether it's B-rolls or me filming nail art, or if I have gaps in my day, knowing that I can take more time to make content. And also just enjoying the post-holiday rest. The holidays for me don't necessarily feel stressful, but afterwards it is kind of it's how I tell my clients when they come in and they get their nails done. A lot of them will sit down and be like, "Whew, I just got really tired," because you're just going and going and going. And when you have a second to rest, your body's like, "Hey, let's rest." So I do try to take time to do that too. Just so I'm not, because then we're going to enter, after February, it's wedding season, trips, spring break, and everything just kind of picks back up again, kind of that March time.
Yeah.
Even sometimes I've had a few years, Valentine's Day just gets kind of crazy because people are just doing more.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know why I had this down here. I think it was supposed to be earlier, but it did say how to plan your time off in advance, which I feel is sometimes hard to do. With trips and stuff, I think we have enough time to, even if you're 2 months booked out, I'm going on a trip in this time.
Yeah.
And it takes time to plan because you want to make sure you book a hotel and your flight and everything with that. And if you're not going anywhere for the holidays, it can be a little harder because you don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it is important to try and plan it in advance just so you can tell clients too. A lot of my clients, we get to a point where they're like, are you going anywhere for the holidays? Because I want to make sure I book around that with my events too. So making sure that you are planning that ahead of time and taking time off if you want to enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Remember, you're allowed to celebrate holidays too, was my
which
quote.
like I think the big thing, sorry, this is kind of delayed. It's the end of the day, as we always film at the end of the day recently. But the big thing for me when it comes to planning my time off in advance is I really, like I've said, I've planned on working just 2 days one week and 2 days the next week. And like that's my way of really setting it to minimizing how much I work, because if I need to open up a third day, it's not the end of the world because I've already compacted it to those 2 days. So that's kind of how I plan ahead, as I figure out which 2 days each week I want to work, and then I go from there.
And there's also something to be said about you blocking time off, but knowing that maybe, like I even put notes to myself because I'm ADHD and forget what I've said. Where, like, so this year is the first year I'm not taking off the 23rd to the 2nd. Yeah, the 23rd to the 2nd. Because I feel like there's always time in between where I'm like, I could have gone to work today. So I'm trying to do Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after, and then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and the day after.
Okay.
But then the 23rd, after so much time, nobody was booking in the evening.
Okay.
And it was just a natural thing that happened. So I went ahead and blocked it out. And I was like, if somebody needs it,
yeah,
then I will let them book because I already took off my holiday time. But if nobody needs it, then now I have more time with my family.
Yeah.
And as we've gotten closer to December and my family has kind of solidified how we're going to do the holidays for Christmas, I've even been like, okay, so I'm just not going to book anyone now. Like, I know that we're going to probably be doing stuff the 23rd in the evening, so I just won't book anyone now. But because I already had it blocked off, I didn't have to tell clients, oh no. And if clients had booked, then I would have been like, well, it was a full day and they booked. But at least I kind of had some wiggle room.
Because we're doing something the 23rd. I think I'm working 8 a.m. to 4 that day, which I used to really be against working anything before 10 a.m. because that was just my start time. But since a little bit of an update, I guess, I don't work at Sephora anymore, but since I was working at Sephora and I did have to work at 8 a.m. while I was balancing that out, it's honestly not that bad starting at 8 a.m. and I do have a few clients that are very much up for that time slot.
When you're like a morning person already too, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of really nice now to know that maybe I could even open all of my schedule to be 8 a.m. to 4, because then I get off early, I have the evening to myself. Because I originally really thought that was going to be a problem, but it's honestly kind of nice finishing at 4.
And again, as you like figure out your client base and stuff, like, I'm not a morning person, but I also don't have anyone who wants to come in earlier than 9. Like, nobody's like, oh, do you have something earlier? Like, if I'm like, I don't have 9 o'clock, they're like, do you have anything later in the day? None of them have ever been like, let's do earlier. Even my after hours people, which I don't really have anymore, but when I used to have a few after hours people, none of them were ever like 6 a.m.
I don't think I'd ever have. I just have a lot of people that have to be up early for work or for their kids, or just that's just their clock, as they wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, so they're like, yeah, I can be here by 8 a.m.
Everyone's clientele is different
anyways. Yeah,
because like I've probably said this before, I will never forget, there was this girl who was like, all of her clientele in the city that she worked in
was overnight,
wanted night. So like she went in at noon and she left at 10, and that's what that worked for her and her clients, because nobody wanted earlier than noon. So as you kind of figure that stuff out, like you can change your schedule as you learn, because again, your clients will fit your schedule.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, the clients who love you
within reason.
Yeah, but the clients who love you are really going to do what they can to work with you, and of course you have to do the same thing. You have to work with them. It's just a give and take. But you're right, people will find you. Like, that's been my biggest thing as I'm approaching my 4 years in business mark. Really scary to think about, but like I definitely feel like I found my people, and the people that are finding me nowadays, if they're not right for me, and this kind of sounds bad, but like they'll leave after the first appointment. Like it's something very obvious where it's like, yeah, we're just not a match. Like maybe my lash style isn't a match for them, which is totally fair. There's a reason that I like to call it, I'm a lash artist. I'm not a lash tech. I'm very much an artist in the way I work. And if my style of lashes isn't for you, I'm not offended by that.
Well, and that's what's so great about our industry too, is
there's so many people.
There's so many people that there does not need to be this nastiness of,
No.
I mean, even with like, let me figure out how to word this because I don't want it to be anything crazy. Even in certain industries that are client based, that aren't necessarily beauty industries, there's so much like nasty competition of, well, I don't want you to steal my clients. I don't want my clients to go to you. I want them to stay with me. But it's like, clients have free will.
Yeah.
And let's say you recommended someone to someone one time and they went and they loved her. Oh, well, like that's how people are. And
I think that's the biggest thing in our industry is most of our clients come to us for us and our personality. And our skill set is definitely important. But at the end of the day, it's you that's keeping your client there.
Yeah. That's what's so hard when people ask, like, if the way that I'm going to expand is to have employees. And I'm like, no, because the only thing the employee would do would be to take people off of my wait list.
I'm also terrified that with an employee, they would not have my same, like, standard. And that would drive me crazy.
I feel like to an extent, you would be able, like, to an extent, I know that I could train someone to do a solid color the same way I do. But the nail art is going to be, like, that artistic touch is what's going to be. Like, will they be able to do a volume set or a classic or an angel? Sure. But will it be that little extra thing that Jade does? No.
That's why I stand by, like, artistry is the way to call what we do. Like, you're a lash artist, you're a nail artist. There's no tech to it, honestly.
Yeah. Because, like, can I show you how to paint a solid red nail? Absolutely. Can I show you how to make a snowflake? Not if you can't do it, you can't do it.
We also just all see things differently.
Yeah.
Like, we pick up on different things.
Yep.
But that's the beauty of our industry.
Yeah.
And we've kind of stepped away from what we were talking about, but it goes with it.
Yeah.
Because I think this is actually the time of year where sometimes you do have to refer your clients out because maybe you are going for 2 to 3 weeks for your holiday time. And I think it does take a lot of comfortability and confidence in yourself and what you're offering to refer your clients to go to somebody else while you're out of town. I do have a couple lash artists that I do feel confident referring my clients to, and I'm also confident that my clients would come back to me.
Yeah.
Because I do have that bond with them. And I think that's one of the most important things about bonding with your clients. I understand if you work faster in silence, and I respect that, and honestly, I probably work faster in silence too.
I do, yeah.
But I will always prioritize my relationship with my clients over speed. And
when sometimes things just feel more natural. Like, I have some clients who don't want to talk while I do their nails, and that's totally fine. And I have said before, like, when I'm doing nail art, sometimes I forget that we were mid-conversation and I am not talking anymore. But it's all what feels natural. Some of my clients, we just yap, and we use up their whole appointment time. And other clients take me half the time because I don't talk.
Yeah. And I also feel like it's situational with your client and you. I feel like sometimes you can set the boundary of like, hey, it's been kind of a day. Like, I'd prefer a quiet appointment today. And they have that same right to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes they're just so tired on my bed that they fall asleep. As soon as they're
I feel
down.
like it would be easy to do.
As soon as I've taped their lashes down, their bottom lashes down, they close their eyes. Some of my clients are out.
Yeah, having your eyes closed, especially on your table. I can't wait to try out your new table. Anyways, we're doing too many life updates.
We just like to yap, but that's why you guys listen.
So, my next point was holidays don't define your whole year. No. So let's even say that you are starting a business now, or you've had your business and I don't know, your holidays can be super, super busy, or your holidays can be super, super slow. And that doesn't necessarily mean that your next few months or your next year is going to reflect that.
Yeah. No, I never base your business off of your holiday season, especially if you sell gift cards. Then you are going to see a spike in your sales. Yeah. And that actually, I used to sell gift cards. I did. There's still an option on my website if people want to go and find them and do it proactively, and that's okay, but I do not market them anymore, because if you sell a bunch of gift cards in December, guess what? Your sales in January look real rough.
Yep. And it is also kind of that, like, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Like, let's say you profited a lot from your gift cards, or you profited a lot from your service, and you're like, whoa, I had a $6,000 month. This is crazy. I need to do all this stuff and I get to buy all these things. You're entering a slower season.
Yeah.
And if January is busy for you and you're gonna have another $6,000 month, great. But don't immediately plan that money is just like, and you're fine. Because my first year, I had a couple of months where there was like a month in the summer and then the holidays where I had money, and instead of like setting it aside for the slow season or just to be able to take vacation time or anything, I was like, well, now I'm going to buy all this stuff because like my business is doing so well. And then January, you're in the negative because you didn't have anything prepped.
Even going into my 4th year of business next year, due to the economy we're in right now, I still wouldn't trust my patterns thoroughly yet. I still feel like every year, actually, I know factually every year is super different. So my first year, I think I just broke even. My second year, I did incredibly, which is insane to me because that was my worst year personally. That was my best year of business so far. Last year, who knows, but I made $10,000 less than the previous year. So it looks real rough on paper. It looked like my business was going down. This year, we've gone right back up. So I even can't correctly predict, and I'm even almost 4 years into being
right.
a business owner.
Especially because, like, again, some years you're gonna travel more than others. Some years you're gonna do, even just like this year, I didn't do as many concerts as I have other years, which means I wasn't leaving early.
Yeah.
And there's like all these little factors where, and you just don't know what's gonna happen until it happens. And even just with things like with our economy and how things are, and we're all like doing our best. I don't even know, like, this is probably the first year where I've been hesitant, like this next year, to raise my prices. Like, I'm still there's lots of things in the works. So
I have to raise my prices next year, guys. This is your heads up if you're a client and you're listening. But I've talked to most of you about it.
And yours makes a lot of sense because you're switching to like a industry changing product.
Yeah.
You're going to be one of the only people in the state offering it, and it's expensive. It is definitely a luxury thing.
The bed I've just invested in is a luxury bed. I'm going to be investing in luxury blankets for you guys. I'm revamping my studio more again.
At least you're doing all of this before, you know.
My goal next year, and I've discussed it with my current clients, they're comfortable with it. My goal next year is to go from being this, I'm complimenting myself here. I'm an above average service provider already, but my goal next year, because this has been my goal always as a business owner, is to really step it up to that luxury service provider. So coffee or soda of your choice at the end of your service, snack of your choice at the end of your service, heated blankets, luxury bed, luxury lighting. Like, I'm just...
People gonna be passing out if they haven't already.
Yeah, next year is just that elevation of my business, and that's just how I feel going into my 4th year.
But I feel like that's like, again, you're entering your 4th year, and that's how we can grow. Is you want to be able to add things that aren't necessarily extending your time, but elevating your services, you know? Yeah. So I'm at a point where I'm actually really, because I'm still learning. Like, I would say that even though, like, with my nails, there's always stuff I'm still learning. I'm still, like, figuring out how to be more consistent, even on my bad days. So I feel like right now, I'm really happy with my pricing. And I don't want to raise them, but I might need to. So that's why we'll see. I typically don't do a price increase until... like March, April, May. So I'll have a couple...
Oh, same. Yeah. This is not happening in January. Don't panic.
I'll have like January, February to kind of find my footing in the new year, because again, the holidays are going to reflect differently than average. But if some bricks fall into place, I might not have to, which would be nice, because I don't... like, for me and what I do, I don't necessarily feel like every year I need to raise my prices.
Well, that's the other reason I'm increasing my prices next year, is I haven't increased. I think starting next year, it's probably been, I don't know, maybe it's 2 years, but it feels more like 3. it's been a little bit since I've increased my prices, and I've since changed my curing system for my adhesive. I have switched to an entirely new product line, which is more expensive because it's better product. So it's just like, I should have probably increased my prices this year if I was really good at doing my back bar and my inventory, but I didn't. So it's just like, there's other factors that step into it. But there's also, like, as service providers, not raising our prices every year, that makes our regular clients feel better and more stable.
Well,
anyways.
and just appreciated, because I feel like, I do feel like as a consumer, if I see someone raise their prices every year,
or
because I used to not say this, I used to say
it.
like, you're justified and you should because other people do, but at a certain point, you can price yourself out and it will do the opposite effect of what you want it to do.
Well, and what you just said is really important, and I feel like a lot of business owners neglect this. As a consumer, put yourself in your client's shoes. Do not just think about yourself. Act as if you are your own client, or better than that, send out a survey to your clients. Get their opinions, see how they're feeling about things, see what they want you to improve on. I think that's always the most important thing, is put yourself in your client's shoes. Put yourself as the consumer in the situation.
And I'm still, again, like, learning and figuring things out. I only have water for people. Like, I haven't even gotten to a point where I could handle
No, that's okay.
asking people if they want anything else. I have warm neck wraps. I forget about them all the time.
I did not know you had them.
Yeah, I have. Well, because now I just turn my heater on. It used to be so cold in my room, I was like, warm neck wraps. And then I'd forget to offer them to people, and they'd be like, it's cold in here. And I'd be like, sucks for you. But I'm trying to be better about it, because I also bought these neck wraps and they're nice, and like, they're not being used. So that's why I feel like I haven't reached a point. Like, I feel like everything I do is fair.
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the reasons I didn't really improve my prices this year, is because, like I said, I know there's things I can do to be more luxury.
So again, it's all about give and take. What I hate seeing, and I feel like I've been seeing a lot this year, which is maybe why I've been feeling more like this, because this time last year, if you had asked me if every year service providers should raise their prices, I'd be like, yeah. But something about this year and seeing so many people be like, oh, it really sucks that my books aren't full. I only have 3 clients a week. And they'd be like, oh, how much is your haircut, your basic haircut? Oh, $300. And I'm like, yeah, nobody's going to go for a basic haircut for $300. Nobody's going to go for a basic anything for $300.
Especially if there's no extras added on to that. Like,
well, yeah, and people are like,
you have to really think about, like I said, you have to be intentional as a service provider. So my last 2 notes on this that I wanted to say before they slip my mind is, my biggest advice for if you are planning on increasing prices in the new year, and if you are planning on doing January, I do not recommend that.
Just saw someone say they were doing that.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
And B, I have a more mature clientele, so this is more for them. But I just in general don't recommend posting your price increase on your social media, because your new clients don't need to know that you used to be cheaper. They don't. Just put your prices up on your website. You're good to go. Be intentional with your current clients and either send them a personal text, personal email, or, because I have a mature clientele, I will write them a letter. And in that letter, I will explain to them why I'm increasing my prices.
Yeah. I use my booking service. I do not pay for the texting all the time. But if I do a price increase, I have it select all of my current clients, and I send out a thing. And then I've even done in the past, because my website lets me do this now, is I have a link. So it says, hey, there will be some changes next year. Please look at this link, and if you have any questions about your upcoming appointment, blah, blah, blah. You click the link, it shows you all the price changes, it shows you any policy changes, any changes to your current clientele. Posting it on your social media, it's notifying people.
It's honestly detrimental.
Well, and like the girl that I just saw.
It does not help you, I swear. It doesn't help you.
The girl that I just saw was like, hey everyone, due to the economy, I'm raising my prices January 1st. And I was like, that is the worst month to do it. People have spent so much money on the holidays, even if you're not holiday people, just Black Friday, all the things.
Just on yourself alone.
That January is the worst month to change your pricing.
Also, due to the economy, not a reason to raise your prices. If you have not increased this is very opinionated. I get that. If you have not improved what materials you're using, if you have not changed their experience in any way, if you haven't changed the bed, the chair they sit in, if you haven't moved businesses to a more expensive location,
if you haven't educated yourself further,
if you haven't done because that's my other reason, if you haven't done continued education, if you have not improved in any way, the economy or your personal situation are not a reason to increase your prices.
And the reason we say improve in any way is because your first year, you might be really slow. And by the end of your first year, let's say you've cut your time even 20 minutes. That's a justified reason. You've gotten better at what you've done. Therefore, you can charge your worth. I don't like this. I've been doing nails for... all my appointments are 3 hours. I've never gotten my time down, and now I charge this much because I can. Like, I say this all the time. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
No, you have to have a reason. Like, yeah.
And the
economy's not a reason.
The economy is crazy. Also,
you've just advertised that it's due to the economy, but you're going to make your clients pay more as if they're not affected.
The other thing I see a lot is product cost increases. To an extent, I also don't like that either.
If you've switched to a more premium product, i.e. me, that makes sense.
Yes.
But if it's the same product...
If the same product has gone up 50 cents, you should be you should have already been charging a price to absorb the 50-cent increase. Yeah. The amount of people I'm like, oh no, my acrylic went up 50 cents. I'm going to have to raise all my prices $8. Why?
Yeah.
As a business, and it's something too that as a consumer, like, we just had all that tax and tariffs and things. The amount of brands who just absorbed that because the cost for them was different than pushing it on to us. I respect them for that, and it makes more sense, Yeah. So it just... We got off on a tangent. This is not about surviving the holiday hustle.
Well,
I mean, I guess it is, but...
Because the new year is when you are thinking about raising your prices, which is valid.
If I was going to choose any time to raise my prices, it's what we just said. March, April, May.
Sorry, this was the second thing. Give your clients a notice. I give my clients 3 months notice that I'm raising my prices. Because that means if they need to find somebody who's in their price range... I am not going to get offended if... Oh,
I don't even give them 3 months. I give them a month because that should be plenty of time.
That's fair. I like to do it too. A month. But I personally always have a list of people that I know are going to be still in their price range because they're my current price. I always keep a list of those to give to those people. Like, hey, here's some lash artists. I've done the research for you.
Especially elderly clients. Yeah. Text your elderly clients directly. Leave them a voicemail. Give them a phone call because they'll appreciate that and there will be no confusion with the price increase. Yep.
Yeah, it's just
Or if you want to be really nice and you have 2 elderly clients like I do that are like 90, they are grandfather. They get the most basic. They do not care. And they are grandfathered into their price because also, this is another reason too, they come every week to 2 weeks. So charging them more
makes no sense.
Just means that I don't get regular income every week because they're there all the time. And for some of them, it's just a cleanup. And for some of them, it's just a simple color or a clear. And for that, I'm like, you know what? I would rather have that designed income where their appointments don't take me as long, all of these things. So again, you can kind of play with it as you will.
It's your business.
And nobody's going to find out about them besides you guys. But they're also 90 and who knows how much longer I'm going to have
My
them.
thing is just be smart.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of it is common sense. However,
but you'll be surprised.
Yeah, we do see things where it's like...
Again, they say your frontal lobe develops at 25. I turned 25 last year. I turned 26 this year. This is the year that my frontal lobe, where I started realizing...
I actually have felt a giant shift this year. Okay. I turned 25 in April, and it's literally... No, I don't think you're necessarily delayed.
Right.
You're at the same point in your business as I am, right?
Yeah.
I also feel that might be it. I think as you come up to 4 to 5... I mean, people say all the time... 5 years, most people will give up before your business gets to 5 years. Em and I are testaments to the point, like, we've both made it to almost our 4-year mark. I actually think that might be our big thing right now with this conversation, is like, we're coming up on that 4th year, and I have had my up, I've had my dip, I've come back up, like.
But the amount of things that, like, I've noticed that we both think are like common sense.
They're not.
The amount of people who are like, oh, I was supposed to do that, or I was supposed to think about that. What do you mean? There's a lot of drama in the nail community right now with DIYers.
Oh, don't get started on the lash community.
I started as a DIYer, and the things that I thought were common sense that people are not doing for their own health and safety drives me nuts.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people, I didn't, but that's because I didn't really know about lashes until I went to school. But I feel like a lot of people in our industry start as DIYers. I mean, I did as makeup. I would do makeup on other people before I was licensed. Granted, that changed only a year before I got licensed as a makeup artist, that you needed to have an esthetician's or CAUSE license. So I guess I technically was not performing services oh my gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? Illegally, maybe is the right word. I guess it is illegal if you're performing a makeup service without a license nowadays. So technically I wasn't, because it wasn't changed until right before I went and got my license, which is funnily enough why I got licensed. I didn't actually get licensed to do lashes. However, besides the point, I feel like most of us in this industry start as DIYers before we get our license, because that's how you find out you have a passion for it. It's dyeing your friend's hair in high school. It's doing your friend's makeup for prom or homecoming, or messing around with lash extensions because maybe your older sister does it or an older friend does it as a job. Like, I feel like that's how most of us start, is by doing DIY.
But as a professional now who has invested so much time in healthy, I say with air quotes because everything has a little chemical in it, but investing into like healthy nail care and going so deep into researching every product and every brand, like, that's why we charge for it, you know? Like, I've done so much research in my brands to the point where I've thrown out brands, and that's a lot of money. And once I learn something bad about a brand, I can't use them anymore. And there's all these things that like DIYers don't understand when we, again, air quotes, come at them for doing things at home. Like, when I was a DIYer, I wasn't charging. Well, I wasn't charging. I was only doing it on myself. And most DIYers are doing it on themselves. But I also, before I even got the guts to buy my first product, I was watching thousands of videos on YouTube.
So that's my thing, is even us, because, 5-6 years ago now, I feel like even then, our resources were not as vast as they are now. So that's honestly the bigger pet peeve, to be honest, is there is so much out there that is like, it costs no money, totally free. Just do your research. There's so much for people to look at now.
I think the issue too is there's, again, with the so much so much
information available.
And so much, oh my, no, what's the word I'm looking for? So much access to everything is the bad side of that, which is when I started doing nails, Amazon was not what it is now. TikTok Shop didn't exist.
Yeah.
And people are buying things from TikTok Shop and Amazon because, oh, well, my nail tech does gel. I'll type in gel. And I've mentioned this before. I saw someone ask if they needed to cure their gel in order to use it. If you're asking those questions, you're doing things that are unsafe. Yeah. Anyways. Anything
around the eyes. Sorry. I mean, clusters.
Well, the lash clusters, but still.
Even then, they're a little risky if you don't do your research. This is really exposing myself. I, as a lash artist, have done clusters 3 times now. First 2 times, they did not last well because I think I did not use enough adhesive. Pretty sure that was my problem. This 3rd time, they lasted a whole 7 days, which I was a little iffy to leave them on for, but they are good for 5 to 7 days as long as you're cleaning them. They lasted the whole 7 days because I used more adhesive. Caveat to that, though, as I discovered myself, and this is a reputable brand, a lash extension brand that does clusters that I know other girls that use, so maybe somebody listening to this can help me. Now, I still, right now, have adhesive on my lashes. I can't fully get it off. And it's driving me up a wall. I've used the remover. I've cleansed them with lash soap. Like, I've literally lash cleanser.
And that's probably part of the damage too, when people end up saying lash clusters damage my lashes. They're wearing them too long and it's staying on their lashes way too long.
I think no matter when I'd remove them, the adhesive is just on my lashes now, which is just crazy to me, because when I was using what probably was the right amount, they weren't staying as long. So I think everybody now with clusters that are like, yeah, they last me 7 to 10 days. cool.
Well, and it depends on the person. Like, I'm sure there are people who, just like press-on nails, I could never get 3 days out of press-on nails. One of my best friends, she can get 2 weeks. What is that about?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I now have more of an aversion to clusters than I initially did. It's not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with them.
But that's crazy, because, like, when you removed my lashes, you wouldn't even know I had them.
Yes. Please just be careful what you're doing around your eyes. Yeah. I don't like the idea of self-lash lifts. I really don't. Please. Your eye is open. There's so many chemicals. The reason it smells like perm is because it very much is a perming solution. It's diluted down for your eye area, but that does not mean your eyes should be open. And please, for the love of everything, if you're not trained in lash extensions, do not put them on your eyes. Do not put them on anybody's eyes. I'm sorry. It's just a really valid opinion in my opinion. Like, it's the eye area.
But there's always a reason for something. Like, even though we started as DIYers, and again, I feel like lashes are so much bigger now. But when I started nails, it wasn't like people were doing at-home lash extensions enough to where we knew, you know? But anytime you're exposing yourself to chemicals, I mean, I had a friend who was getting her hair done by a professional hairdresser, but she went so much that her hair doesn't take color anymore. There's always a risk with everything. However, if you're asking yourself questions that professionals are telling you would be common sense, that's a red flag. So we're going to end that there. And the moral of this was...
If you're asking for supplies for something because you want to start your business in the new year for Christmas, please be trained. That was the moral of this.
Yeah.
Just do your research.
And it's so easy. We have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Instagram.
Yeah, it's so accessible.
Everyone's posting things on everything. We have AI that can literally tell you where to find videos. Yep. Just watch some.
AI actually knows a lot about these things too if you ask it the right questions.
Anyways, that was totally tangent-y off of
that's what we're good at.
What it is. That's what we're good at. Anyways, hopefully this helped you guys in some way. I don't even know what we were talking about.
I feel like we did do a good job talking about business in the holiday season, and then we just kind of rambled on.
Well, because the nail tech thing is heavy right now, and I even had a video get like 13,000 views, 12,000 views. I don't know what it's at now. Because I was like, DIYers, please stop.
You reply to the comments on
Oh my gosh, and the comments drive me up a wall. And that's what I mean by noticing the common sense things. I made a video that said, here are the brands that I am recommending. You would think people would go, if she didn't mention any other brands, she doesn't recommend them. And people would be like, well, what about this one? What about this one? And I was like, no, I didn't mention it. Yeah. And even some of the brands I mentioned, I don't even like as a professional, but they're the best thing that a DIYer could use. And then people are like, but it's expensive to buy those brands. And I'm like, yeah, I wonder why. Because the other thing that happens when you compromise price,
oh my gosh,
is not just like, let's say, again, this is nails. Let's say the color is one coat coverage, beautiful, wow, lasts forever. There's a chance that if it's $5 for a bottle, they're not paying their employees. They don't have enough overhead costs to where they need to charge more because they're charging slave wages, or they're cutting costs in chemical testing, or they're cutting costs in actually paying someone to write their SDS sheets. There's so many things besides the actual quality of the product that can be cut when you go for, air quotations, more affordable. And to me, more affordable brands are brands that actually care, put a lot of effort and money into things that it actually makes it worth it to me. You know?
If anybody's wondering what SDS sheet stands for, put it in the comments and we'll do a whole safety episode, because that really just triggered something in my brain.
Yeah, if you don't know what an MSDS or SDS sheet is,
I have so much I could talk about when it comes to product safety.
We can talk about product safety. Again, coming from, because you did makeup, so that's kind of DIY also.
Well, there's also just so many changes in the lash industry right now that I do actually have a lot we could talk about.
So maybe that's an episode for next year too.
I think we just unlocked something.
Yeah, we're probably going to do the episode anyways.
Yeah, you don't need to comment. We got you. If you do wonder what it stands for, though, we'll answer.
Yeah,
but we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole right now. If you want a direct answer, DM us or comment, and we'll give it to you.
Okay,
I don't know. I feel like we covered everything.
Yeah, we covered everything,
and then we went off.
So the moral, to sum it up, focus on yourself during this holiday season. don't stress. Everything's fine.
Prioritize communication with your clients and your loved ones.
Yes, we are, slow down and enjoy the moments. Slow down and enjoy the moments. You are allowed to be a business owner and a person.
And if you're in a slow season or you're nervous for your slow season, as people who have been in this industry for almost 4 years as business owners, longer without a business, you're going to be okay. I promise. You really just have to trust the ebb and flow of being a business owner. As I just told you guys, mine has been up and down and up, and that's just it. That's just the reality of owning a business. Don't panic. Unless you're down, 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 and you're not seeing any improvement, then that's when you talk to somebody first. You don't just give up. Yeah. I'm a big advocate for don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
It's just not worth it. You can fight for it. If you love it, it's worth fighting for, because that's where I'm at.
Because the passion is what keeps it alive. Yeah. 100%.
If you lose your passion, then that's a different conversation.
I love my job, even though I talk a lot of crap about our industry.
I love my job too, so. Yeah.
Alrighty, well.
Prioritize yourselves this season.
Yeah. And as usual, all of the links, I almost said links, comments, and likes. That's not what I meant. Any links you may need will be in our descriptions. As usual, you can always reach out to us with questions, comments, or concerns. And until then, we will see you guys next time.
I hope you're having a good holiday season so far.
Bye. Bye.